Think the Sahara was always a lifeless desert? Think again. Beneath these endless sands lies the story of a lost civilization, one that defied nature and built an empire where no one thought possible. Meet the Garamantes, the forgotten rulers of the desert. For nearly 1,700 years, from around 1000 BC to 700 AD, the Garamantes thrived in what is now modern-day Libya. But these weren't just wandering desert nomads, they were engineers, traders, and innovators who built a prosperous kingdom in the middle of the Sahara. So how did they do it? The Garamantes were a Berber-speaking people who ruled the Fezzan region of Libya. Unlike their neighboring tribes, they weren't just surviving in the desert, they were thriving. They built cities, established trade routes, and created an advanced irrigation system that transformed arid land into farmland. Their capital, Garama, was a bustling hub of mud-brick buildings, fortresses, and open-air markets. At its peak, it housed around 10,000 people with smaller villages surrounding it. But how did they sustain such a large population in the middle of a scorching desert? The key to their success? A brilliant water management system known as fogaras. These were underground canals that stretched for miles, tapping into hidden groundwater reserves beneath the desert. By digging gently sloping tunnels, they could channel water to their cities without losing a drop to evaporation. This allowed them to irrigate crops, sustain livestock, and even store water for dry seasons. Some call this ancient engineering as impressive as modern-day irrigation systems. Thanks to this system, the Garamantes grew wheat, barley, grapes, and date palms, not what you'd expect in the middle of a desert. But water wasn't their only advantage. The Garamantes were also major players in trans-Saharan trade. They traded gold, salt, precious stones, and even slaves with the Carthaginians, Egyptians, and Romans. To the Romans, the Garamantes were both valuable trade partners and potential threats. The Sahara wasn't an empty wasteland, it was a bridge between North Africa and the rest of the continent, and the Garamantes controlled that bridge. Some ancient accounts even describe Garamantean warriors, riding chariots across the dunes raiding Roman territories. The Roman historian Herodotus called them swift raiders who lived in the scorching desert. Rome eventually launched military campaigns against them in the 1st century AD, but they never fully conquered the Garamantes. So with all this success, what happened to the Garamantes? Why did their civilization vanish? By around 700 AD, their once thriving cities were abandoned. Historians believe their decline was due to a combination of factors: climate change, overuse of water resources, and shifts in trade routes. Their fogaras, once their greatest assets, started drying up. Whether this was due to natural climate shifts or human overuse is still debated. As the water disappeared, so did their ability to sustain cities. At the same time, new powers were emerging in the region. The Arab expansion into North Africa in the 7th century further changed trade routes and political structures, leading to the final disappearance of the Garamantes. Legacy and mysteries. Though their empire faded into the sands, the Garamantes left behind incredible ruins, ancient cities, abandoned fortresses, and hundreds of miles of fogaras that still crisscross the Libyan desert today. Archaeologists are still uncovering new clues about their civilization. Who knows what else might be buried beneath the Sahara? The Garamantes show us that the Sahara wasn't always an empty desert. It was once home to thriving civilizations, and they might not be the only one. Some researchers believe there could be more lost cities buried beneath the dunes, waiting to be discovered. Could the Sahara be hiding more ancient secrets? What else is buried beneath the sand? The Garamantes prove that humans can adapt, innovate and thrive anywhere, even in the harshest environments. Their story is a reminder that history is still being uncovered, one grain of sand at a time. Do you think the Sahara holds more lost civilizations? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, hit like, subscribe and ring the bell for more ancient mysteries.